Hello fellow raiders. I'm going to be evaluating the security lockers on this video. My goal is to loot as many for you guys as I can, and then I will show you the bits of me actually breaking them open, and I'll show you the locations of each one once, just so you guys know where they like to spawn. And then from there you guys can determine if it's worth it for you. In my opinion, I find the security lockers worth it, especially if you build a build strictly around just looting them. But you have to be quick, because some other play raiders will go and get them, and I'd imagine if you're on a PvP servers in particular, like if you're PvPing, looting these might be difficult because it'll make some noise, but your discretion is your own discretion, right? You decide what's worth it for you. But at the end of the day, for me, I'm in friendly lobbies for the most part. I don't usually have a problem looting these, and I usually end up sharing blueprints and stuff whenever I get them. But yeah, I'm gonna stop talking now, and we're just gonna dive in, and we're gonna see where we go.
The air scrubbers aren't doing great, so if you've got a mask, use it.
When you are doing these runs, I do recommend that you try and spawn as late as possible. I guess as early as possible in the raid. If you spawn late, I would suggest you maybe leave and come back. You could always try and see if one of the spawns are there and see if maybe nobody's looted it, but in my humble experience, usually once you hit that 20-minute mark, they're almost all looted. Usually. So the first one we're going to go to is Santa Maria houses over here.
Let's go to the Santa Maria houses.
Up in the attic. If it spawns, it'll be right here.
This might be worth checking.
Let's see what we get. Didn't spawn this time. If it does, it'll be right there.
Let's go to the red tower.
Next is red tower. You can take either way. I don't have to deal with that bastion. You can either go that way or spawn, it'll be right there. Next up is our boosted tower.
Let's go to the Arbusto Tower.
Hey, for me it means I get the game for the weekend. Worth it.
These lockers here have a very high loot value. You can get some nice stuff from them.
Go to the hospital.
Not very good luck. Usually I find it's like a 30%. And we are lucky there's a security locker here and a medical bag this time. Not. Alright, that's it. Gonna cut to the next one. Overall, not a very good run. There was one more spot on their boosted tower I could have checked for a locker. I didn't think of it by the time I ran, so it is what it is. This is what we hauled out. So not a great run, but better than nothing, I guess. So what I like to do, the laboratory reagents can be recycled down to fruit explosives when you're back. It's not a common thing a lot of people know, but when you are back at base, you do get more for recycling something than you do recycling in-game. So keep that in mind. Get those ones. You can get some of these. I usually just keep medium gun parts as is, but any of the heavy or light, I'll just recycle down to single gun parts. Send those to my stash. Mod components are very nice. Medium gun components are very nice. Bicycles can recycle down to canisters, or you can just sell it outright. Lure grenades you can recycle down to speakers if you want, or just sell them. Trigger grenades recycle down to sensors, which is handy. Okay, so that run we made after all our expenses, so any materials we've used, ammo, etc., we made 13,402 credits. So still made something, but definitely was not a win. Also, with the recent update, because right now I am talking at April in 2026, so with the recent update, they've made it so if you have a custom loadout, you have a higher chance of getting a fresh game, pretty much. You're less likely to spawn super late. Keep that in mind. I do recommend custom loadouts all the way for security lockers. I haven't used a fucking free loadout ever in this game, so take that for what you will. Alright, our first stop is going to actually be the control tower because we're closest.
Let's go to the control tower.
totally heard that in Speranza just now. You know how they have like little announcements on the speakers or whatever?
Yeah.
talking to plants may help. Screaming at them doesn't. I'm like,
Oh,
oh.
you're saying I
That's,
can't?
That's really sage advice right there, thanks.
Wait, you're saying I can't scream at the plants?
Anyway, have a lovely day, my friend.
You too. You take care. We're gonna ignore that shredder. We wanna go down. Okay, you'll drop this. The waiting game. The... Breach this open. Inside here, there can be 1, 2, or 0 screws. This is a very popular spot, so be quick. We got lucky today. Reach as fast as you can, and then just 2 red lockers. Red lockers go. Sometimes there's a gun case there. Okay, next one is gonna be the top of the control tower. If you go down 2 more, there's a medical room down there too. You can move for bandages and stuff like that. Second, got a problem to deal with. I hate this bridge. Sometimes if I'm feeling extra paranoid, I'll go down below and push the one downstairs. Or I'll bring a barricade kit and set it up behind me. Sometimes there can be 2 turrets up here. Wow, 2 games in a row that I've come here, there's no turrets. Which means someone either beat me here or RNG's being weird today. Hello, Raider. If you're up here, I'm friendly. Okay, you're going to go down this ladder and be careful. Make sure you're full health. If you fall, you will survive with a sliver of health. Okay, so you want to be here and you want to jump. Okay, there's usually a turret up here. If it's not there, then it's around the corner. Loot these containers, they're high value. Weapons sometimes like to spawn on these. There's sometimes a suitcase here you can loot, a computer, grenade tube right here this time. Turret's probably sitting right there. actually have an inventory problem. I don't want you. Security breach spawns out here. It'll either spawn in the room there, which you need a key card to get to, or it'll spawn out here.
Over here.
It's not here this time, and sometimes 2 suitcases here that are really valuable. Sometimes there'll be a bag in the shopping cart right
Look
here.
there.
And then sometimes weapons will spawn on the bed. Okay? And if there's sometimes a grenade tube there. When you go loot it, make sure you're looking the way I am showing you right now. Because if you loot it this way, you'll fall off the fucking roof. Hey, you friendly, buddy?
Yes, sir. Oh, okay. Ah, it's okay. You have a key? Yeah. Ah, it's okay. I appreciate it. Nah, I was just looting the room. I had a key and I needed to. Yeah, you can loot with me if you want. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. No worries. Go ahead.
Over there.
Gotcha. Oh, that's okay. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Alright, now we just gotta head home. I like to go out hatch. If I'm feeling iffy about the game, I'll go out this hatch here. It's the safest
Head
one in
home
my
at the
opinion.
Red Lakes hatch.
Or I'll go through that.
Head home at the Red Lake balcony lift.
Control here. I received your signal from the elevator unit. It is coming.
I didn't go to the last security locker I usually go to on this map because I actually filled up my inventory really quick on this run. But the third one is actually in this building right here. There'll be one right in there sometimes if it spawns, okay? But again, you only got a 30% chance or so for it to spawn, so you're rolling the dice every time you go somewhere. Alright, but this was a good haul. I'll let you guys know the totals. That run was actually pretty good. We made 48,000 in profit off that game. Between your, like, that just takes the sell value of everything that you come back with versus everything you left with. We made 48,000 in profit. So, not bad. Next up is Spaceport. Okay, so pretty much all the control tower, all these little control towers here have a chance to spawn them. Plus there's a little bunker, 2 of them, that have a chance to have them too. So we're gonna go visit each one. Okay, I'm gonna arrive in the first one. Inside this building here, there are gonna be two. Now, be careful, they're usually fucking comets nearby. Wow, no one breached in here. That's surprising, actually. So if the breach does spawn, it'll be in that corner.
Here.
There's also loot.
On in. Wait, again. Sit. Yeah, this is the third time in a row.
Oh! Just asking that guy if he wanted the blueprints. I guess not. It's right here on the map by the arrival building. Beware the tick. I keep him as my pet. My little bodyguard. Sometimes there's a turret up here. And there's a security locker right there.
Loot spot. Here.
Eh. Make sure you loot. Lots of processors and stuff up here. Or just a random arpeggio in a drawer. Great. Check the corner control towers here. Sometimes they'll be a great. Alright, next tower is gonna be this one here.
Go to that location.
There's a lot of these.
Over here.
Looks like someone's been here, but you see there's gun cases. Alright, next one. Next one's a bit further away. We are gonna have to go all the way to that one.
Let's move to that location.
I believe, if I remember, there's a bunker. I think the bunker is, yeah, down by this one. Let me just double this one. Am I thinking of the wrong one? likewise if it spawns with green.
Over here.
An arc orbiter is en route. The safe window is closing. 10 minutes to get out of there. I repeat, 10 minutes.
Could be interesting. Over here.
Alright, there's one more technically down here.
Go to that location.
And then I have an area I've actually wanted to try, and you guys can come with me. I have done some testing, Daybream. Might just put this thing on. Not here, but if it does, it'll spawn in the same spot.
Go to the control
I
tower.
There's the side of it, so. Let's see if this even works.
All Raiders, we have ARC on screen. 5 minutes left. Go find a way home. I repeat, 5 minutes.
Supposedly, you can get up to that platform. Alright, boys, if I die, I'm crawling. Here I go! Supposedly you can just get into the keycard room there. I have yet to test this theory. It wasn't bad. We got, I think, 3 security lockers from that. But they all spawn in those little control towers built around the map, and then the 2 bunkers if you're lucky. So, this is definitely my least favorite spot to do. The next area I'm going to take you guys to is my personal kind of favorite place to go loot, which is, personal favorite place on Blue Gate to go loot, which is the Raiders Refuge. I'll show you guys how to do the puzzle, and I'll show you guys all the button locations probably on the next video. I should do his own video for that. But I'm going to take you guys back to probably do another buried city, and I'll show you guys the loot spawns again. And we're going to see if the loot's worth it. Alright, so that run there was a 38,000 profit run in 14 minutes. But to be fair, I did take a couple extra minutes and tried to do a little detour. But all in all, that was a pretty successful run. Changing my mind, I'm taking you guys back to Dam one more time to show you guys the dome location. But those are my go-to. There are a couple of other lockers, of course, on each map, but these are just my rotations. I'm trying to show you guys exactly where they are, so you guys can kind of get a nice little path going. As you see, by the time you loot 2 or 3 of them, your inventories usually complete. I do recommend you take everything back with you, and then you sort it all back in Esperanza. Because the security lockers tend to all drop more or less the same pool of items. It is a really good way to farm some wolf packs and some like tempests, volcanoes, stuff like that. You can get decently often from the security lockers. Alright, we spawned on the exact opposite side of the map, so I might as well show you where the one over here is spawned.
Let's go to the power generation complex.
Again, snap hook will make this whole process a lot quicker. And just get it with a, Alright, so in here, this office here. Just inside this room. As I say. If the security locker spawns, it'll either be right there
Over here.
or be inside this room.
A door.
Alright, next. Hey, Raider.
Hey. You good? You're good, man.
Let's go to the control tower.
There's... Comments. Everyone runs from... Do not. Wait till they open. That one right in the fucking center. It'll die. Third area here where there's an opening in the ground. Guess I didn't even realize there's a fuck. And then you just gotta cross one on this side. And the medical room, as I said, is right there.
There.
You guys looted. You guys can find like nice bandages. I find a lot of green bandages in there. Ammo. There's a turret up there. One this time. This is a big locker. Damn. Night raids, the lockers tend to be quite a bit bigger. So if you come do this run on the night raids, the spawn chance is lower, but the loot in them tends to be higher value and more of it. Okay, there's no way this is 3 games in a row where there's no fucking turrets in this hallway. What? I love doing this to Pops, it's funny. They gonna let me open this? The answer was no. That's a nice one. Other than that, I was actually... Next up, we're gonna go to the domes. It's this one in particular right there.
Let's go to the domes.
I should have made sure I was full health before I did that jump. Don't do what I just did there. You fall, you're going down. And there's no way off the fucking roof.
Yeah, not too bad.
Easy way to get down right here. This corner. Okay, once again, you can either roll it and grab the ledge, or you can snap. I'll do a roll and show you guys can. See? So the way the photo club work, if no one actually knows, it assumes you're in the last spot you were at. Alright, if it spawns, it could spawn on that.
Here.
Dude, right there.
Could be something.
There you guys go.
Head home at the central swamp lift.
Of course.
Hello, Raider!
Come on in. The water's fine. Have a good one!
So this is what we ended up with. So not a bad haul. Alright, so another run done. 15 minutes long. We visited all 3 locations. We got 2 security lockers out of that, plus a pretty nice balcony, all things considered. So that was 50,000 in profit. So you know what? A very good overall run. So I'm going to quickly go over the map with you guys, and then just show you guys each location on the map. Now, it does have a reduced spawn on night raids, and it has a reduced spawn during the electromagnetic storms. So if you go on any of those 2 map conditions, I don't know the exact spawn rate, but it's at least half of what it normally is. So if it's around 30%, if I had to guess, it'd be around 15% chance to spawn. So just keep that in mind. But if you do find them in those 2 conditions, the value of the lockers is substantially higher. Like, you get a lot more loot from them. But I prefer the reliability, so I stick to day raids when I do mine. Okay? So depending on where your spawn is where you're going to start with the route, but there is pretty much a minimum, at least 1 you're going to find here. I'd be surprised if you didn't get a single one here on your run, because on that bridge area there can be up to 2, and then you can get the balcony plus up to 1 on the balcony there. This is a pretty strong spot. The balcony itself makes it worth it. So if I had to choose, like if you spawned over on this side here, I'd recommend you go over and you do the bridge first, because that's the highest, most known one per se, and then head and do the balcony, and then after, what you do is you head over to the domes and you hit that spot. Okay, you can try and get the one that's in the power generation complex and the water treatment, but again, I don't usually have good luck with those 2. And then there's also one in the testing annex that you can find, but again, it's hit and miss, and most of the time the testing annex tends to be a very populated spot. Same with the power generation complex. So this is my preferred route right here. It's all close range. Dams are very successful when it comes to the security lockers. Okay. Next up, we have Buried City. Okay. Buried City is my personal favorite when it comes to... I love just jumping on the roofs, okay? Especially if you have a snap hook, this makes it so much easier. No matter where you spawn, you can pretty much start your route. So if you spawn somewhere on this side, you can start with the hospital, head to the roof, see if there's something there, come on down, and then you work your way over, do the Piazza Augusto, and then do the Santa Maria houses, head to the Red Tower, and if you're feeling brave, there is one in this tower here on the Plaza Rosa, but again, there tends to be a lot of foot traffic here, so take at your own discretion. Alright, but I showed you guys the location, so there's one in the Red Tower right on inside that little chamber, I guess little tunnel, you'd say man cave, whatever. And then the Santa Maria houses, there's two that you can get, right? You got the one on each of the roofs here, so one on this side, one on this side, okay? So you're going to want to loot both. The odds of getting it, again, sometimes you're lucky and you'll get both. You get a third one there, a fourth one there. I have had games where I get all fucking 5. I've also had games where I go and there's none. So make sure you loot the other things in the room too, because they tend to give you more stuff than people think. Especially the Arbusto Tower, that breachable door, that part of the Arbusto Tower there. So you head on in, you breach that door, the drawers upstairs and everything are high value. Okay, so loot them all. And if it doesn't spawn there, I'm sorry I didn't show you guys this video, but it can spawn on the roof over here inside, like, you know, same with the Santa Maria house, you gotta go in the roof, same idea. You go in there, it can sometimes be on that side, or on the part of the roof that's underneath the bridge here, okay? But most of the time, it'll spawn inside the Arbusto Tower itself, if it does spawn. As for the hospital, I don't know if it spawns anywhere else in the hospital. I'd imagine it spawns in that locked room if it's not on the roof. But whenever I do find it, it tends to be on that roof. And there tends to be other stuff with it, like a weapon case, medical bag, sometimes a bag itself, which is some goodies. So make sure you loot it all. But that's my run on that. And then my least favorite of the 3 to run is Spaceport. And that's simply because you literally have to book it to each one. And it's actually pretty well known. People just loot the towers in general. But whichever side of the map you spawn, you want to start at the furthest tower and then work your way around. So there you have one potential spawn there, one potential spawn by the fuel lines there, one potential spawn in the tower by the arrival building and the departure building there. There's a bunker there where one can spawn. And then on the other side of the arrival building, you have between the shipping warehouse and the arrival building, you have another tower that can spawn one, and then another bunker that can spawn one. Okay? So those are your loot spots. I hope this helps you guys, and in my opinion, the skill's worth it. But it is a heavy investment. It does require you to invest 36 points into the skill tree. And on that note, I'll show you guys my skill tree. This is what I run. I have not done any of the expeditions. I just don't care to. So this is strictly with 76 skill points. Alright, well, talk to you guys all later. Enjoy. Bye.